First of all, I think this will be an interesting ball game. Obviously, Mercer's in the SoCon, so it's the first time we have an opportunity to play an opponent that will be a league opponent starting next year. The intriguing thing about it is Mercer basically started football again 3 years ago, so this is their third year in the program. I think they've got 16 sophomores starting, so those are redshirt sophomores, and they've got right at 11 freshmen. I'm not sure how many upperclassmen they got past that, but they basically started the exact same place we did. Obviously, I had the opportunity. Bobby Lamb is a close friend of mine, the head coach there, and did a great job at Furman while he was there, and then was asked to come and start this program at Mercer, and he's done a really nice job with that. Having a stadium, I think, helped them out immediately because, if I'm not mistaken, I think they were in the stadium the first year in their existence, so that was good for them. I think offensively, the thing that impresses you, and that's Coach Lamb's MO, that's his philosophy. They're really, really balanced as far as run pass. I mean, they're right at about 240 yards rushing and about 236 yards passing, and that's what everywhere he's been as an assistant at Furman, as a head coach at Furman, and that's what he's always strived for, is to have 200 yards throwing, 200 yards rushing, limit the number of turnovers. And if he's able to do that and control the clock, then he's felt like, and he has been able to do that over his career, have a chance to win the ball game. If you look at their schedule, they've, I think right now they're 2-3, 3 losses, won by 7 points, won it in overtime by 1 point, and then 2 points. So he's lost, the 3 games they've lost have been really by about 10 or 11 points. So they've been competitive every game they've played. They've got 2 really good running backs. Quarterback is an experienced guy and does a good job, and very well coached team. Defensively, they're very similar to us as far as the schematics of it. The thing on defense that they do have a little bit of experience because they played in some ball games, which has given them a big plus. And I think they did a nice job of scheduling the first 2 years. If you look at their schedule. 2 years ago, last year, and what their schedule this year is basically a SoCon schedule, so it's obviously gotten tougher. And for all of us, it'll get tougher for them and us next year because, like I say, we will be league opponents. But it'll be a great challenge. We got 2 right in a row, this week and next week, 2 long road trips. But this is what we're going to be playing against you week in and week out, season in and season out, and year out. From this point on, because we're basically getting FCS football, and Mercer was preseason. I think they had votes in the top 20, and the team we play next week in Montana State, they're obviously been a top 20 team for several years in a row. So it'll be 2 road trips, 2 big challenges. Our players understand that. We've been banged up a little bit. We don't use that as an excuse, but it is what it is. I think that happens a lot of times with really young football players and young teams. They're still young, and so we're having to deal with a little bit of that. But the toughest thing we've had so far is we have not put 4 quarters together yet. I mean, we've played some good quarters. We've played 2 or 3 good quarters, but we have not put together 4 quarters where we say that we had a legitimate chance to win football games. Even though we still had a chance to win 2 of those 5. But, we played some, I think, if you look at the one-loss record of our opponents so far, even the Division II schools, Division III schools are good football teams in their division. So, it is what it is, and right now what we're trying to do is find a way to win that first ball game, and we're going to play a very, very solid football team in Mercer this week, very well coached football team, head coach by a guy that I truly respect in Bobby Lamb. He's been a head coach for a long, long time, was a great player at Furman back when he played quarterback, and continued to be a really good assistant coach at Furman and stayed there as assistant head coach for a number of years, and then, like I say, he's been able to move to Mercer, and I think he's done a really good job with what they're trying to do, and they're doing it the way it needs to be done, and I think they've tried to move forward 1 step at a time. And he was one of the guys that I talked to about when we started football about what would you do the same, what would you do different. Again, other than this week, we're close friends, but obviously when you play on Saturday, you're going to be close friends after the game and not before the game.